kill with the warrior poet, spitting out the facts, artillery loaded, perfecting our craft, yeah you know we devoted. I know what I want so I'm staying focused. You hitting up my line, it's on do not disturb. Don't need a fool who can't even back up his words. Had to burn bridges and take different roads. You might think I'm toxic, but homie, I got goals.
More dangerous, but he's a good boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's only 17.
But that's why they're able to develop such great technique.
Yeah, skill.
You know,
yeah.
Because they don't rely on their temperament.
Or their physicality.
Also.
See, that's why. Oh shit, I'm on like back and forth. That's why women get good at stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So because they have to. They don't have the physical strength that we do. So they have to study the technique and really like learn the technique.
When you watch any UFC women's fight, it's like the most mystical thing you have ever seen. They're just like a ballet dance, you know. Like the technique is just so crisp, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they're professional fighters, so that's what they do, all day, every day, and they've been doing it for.
But look at Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's an exciting fighter, but when he throws like those haymakers, like they're sloppy, you know. And then look at Rose Namajunas, same coach, you know. Rose is just beautiful with everything that she does.
Exactly. But it's really up to the fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really up to the fighter how far you're gonna take it, or how far you want to take it. You know, because I've always said this. You know, if the coach wants it more than the fighter, then there's a
problem.
There's a freaking I'm like, who's the fighter? Like, you know what I mean?
Who wants to be champion here? Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
Welcome, guys, to the Warrior Poet Show. This is a special one. I got the one and only Hugo SIDA. SIDA, right?
SIDA.
You are not only my coach, but I consider you like a father figure. You know, like I do seek that a lot in people, but not just anybody, cause not just any Joe Schmo gets to be put on a pedestal, you know. But right. You, on the other hand, it's like, man, I have tremendous respect for you, because you're one of those people that's not just like, how do I say this, successful. Like, you're a bona fide warrior, you know. You don't see those type of people often anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different generation.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think anybody wants to fight anymore. And I think anybody that sees any kind of confrontation, they're going to shy away from it. That's the generation we live in.
And the thing is that most people, not most, but, yes, most up-and-comers, they're doing it for the likes on social media.
Yeah.
See, when we first started,
there was no social media.
Yeah, we're talking about, I was 15. We're talking about 27 years ago. Wow. Right? Yeah. So we didn't have any phones. We didn't have social media. Cell phones were still not a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then the first time we got a cell phone, it was some shit like this. Low, like just brick.
With the freaking antenna.
You know what I mean? So back then, there was also no money in fighting. So fighting, you did it because that's what you love, and that was your passion.
There was actually no incentive at all.
There was, if you made it to the UFC, which came out in 93, you know what I mean? It was like, okay, well, then what? What happens after? Like,
It was still so obscure.
For sure.
I mean, I hear a lot of interviews from Dana White, and he expresses how, they were going to shut him down at some point, Like, it was to that point that we weren't even able to put up a show or an event.
Because he was too brutal.
Yeah.
They used to call it cockfighting. So it was banned from like most of all the television. I mean, it was a very few that knew what that was and when it was happening. Now you have it every freaking weekend.
And so it was a taboo thing at the time, but like, what are your thoughts with it being so mainstream now? You know,
What are my thoughts? I think it's awesome. It's awesome because, you know, I'd like to say that I was a pioneer of the sport here. I mean, think about it. Bushido MMA started it was another name. It was still Bushido, but it was something else. Bushido Ninjutsu Do back in 95, 94, 95.
mm-hmm. And you guys were teaching ninjutsu.
We were teaching ninjutsu, but this is the thing. Jorge Nieto and my brother Jose SIDA, they were mixing things up. Like one of them did wrestling, and then he did kickboxing. And then
just like
yeah, so and then you know, they got their black belts together at a gym back in the days. It was called the White Tiger Clan, Ninja Clan.
mm-hmm.
So, but they were, you know, my brother was doing judo, jiu-jitsu. I mean, they were mixing things up. So when they started Bushido, it was a mixture of everything.
There was just no name for it
There was no name yet, you know, for what we were doing, you know, but I mean, that's what it is. It's a martial art. You create. That's what being an artist.
Being creative.
That's all it is. You create your own styles. You create, you know, you mix everything you know and you put it into your style. So that's what they were doing. So when the first UFC came out, we were like, oh, shit, that's what we do. We just did it a little bit more dirty. Like, you know, like for us, it was jiu-jitsu. And we only knew a few locks. We didn't know a lot of them. They were still so new. You know, we knew an Americana. We knew an arm bar, a rear naked choke, a straight ankle lock, and then we need the guillotine.
Really?
Yeah.
The ankle lock, it was prevalent at the time?
We were doing it.
Shit.
Yeah. This was in 95, 96. So my first fight was when I was, 16?
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
an MMA fight.
Like a cage fight, or how?
It was not. It wasn't like it wasn't in a cage. It was in a matted area. It was at Austin High School, in the gym.
And
it was called Go for Broke.
And did you go for broke?
Yeah. I entered the 3-man tournament, and I won. And then after that, I fought for the state championship.
Yeah.
Which I also won.
And then after that, the rest is history.
And then the rest, yeah. I mean, you know, it little by little, you know, they started, you know, catching. Yeah, everybody was, and you know, that's when it opened. That's when it first started. And you know, by 2002, that's when I changed. And you know, after I came back from San Diego, because I was in San Diego, down there training at the Lions
with
Ken Shamrock. Yeah, and that was a whole freaking.
That's another experience.
The experience of that, dude. Oh my God, it was.
Well, can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, how is it training with an elite UFC fighter at the time?
It was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary, very scary, because, I mean, not only was he skilled, he was freaking strong as hell, and he had a lot of issues.
It was brutal.
Yeah. So, you know, you mix all of that together.
You know, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, bro. You know, personal problems, and you know, I mean, you name it, man. I mean,
he was contending it with all.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, who's he gonna take it out on?
Yeah.
You know, so okay, well, you're part of the team, so. You know, they used to call us, our group, the young boys.
Young boys.
Yeah, those are the guys that are getting ready to be fighters.
Okay.
So you go through they used to put you through a 6-month training camp.
To earn your stripes, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
to get your ass beat, and then you know, you had to be there every day, Monday through Friday, If they needed you Saturday, you were there because you're helping people get ready. At the time, we're helping people get ready for the UFC fighters and also Pride.
So you guys were busy.
So we were punching bags for all the fighters. We were getting in there and yeah, you know, the top big names that you know back in those days, we were there helping them. You know, so yeah, it was scary. It was exciting.
And
It
how
was-
long did you stay in San Diego?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I left. I actually, as soon as I graduated from high school, I was like,
I'm out. So you knew what's up.
I knew when I was 15. I just didn't know how to get there. I didn't know I was 15.
Right.
What do you know? Most, you know that, and this is what I always tell people. I'm like, you're lucky to find your passion at a young age.
For some people, it doesn't come to like.
Never.
I think my mom would resonate a lot with that, you know, because she struggled, in you know, because of life, right? But it's like, man, if I would have known I was like this creative and that I love doing this, that, and the other, like my life would have been totally different. You know, I would have allocated my energies different. You know, because man, passion and doing what you love, it's like having a second gear. You know.
It's not really. It's not a job.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I've been doing what I do for 27 years, and it hasn't been a day that I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to work.
I know. I thought you were like at home resting, recuperating from the surgery, and
I
then
know.
like you're there at the gym.
Yeah,
This
it's
fucking
been
guy.
today is 2 weeks since I got shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
I was there. I got it on Wednesday. The following Monday, I was there teaching a class. Yeah, I was hurting. You know, but I wanted to be there. You know.
Well, I mean, do you understand also that like, maybe not inherently, but for me, like you're setting an example. You know, like just by saying like there's no days off and like work is work. I'm gonna show up and because I say I'm gonna show up, kind of thing. You know, like integrity, also. You know.
Yeah, and integrity and that's where that discipline comes in. You know, I'm just so discipline is such a natural thing for me. That it's just
your personality.
It's my character. Like it's in there. Like it's just, you know what I mean. So I was like, well, you know, I'm here at home hurting. I could be at the gym hurting, but doing something that I like.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, let's just go.
It's a no-brainer for you.
Yeah. It's just I get up and go. You know, it's like people. You know, I mean, surgeries are, you know, no matter what type of surgery, I mean, they're all hard.
Yeah, they're taxing.
Yeah, you know, so, but, you know, let's not make it more than what it is. I mean, you're still going to be hurting whether you're at home or you're somewhere else. I'd rather be somewhere else where I'm.
Well, you have to understand also that we're living in a culture where like somebody put in the same position as you is going to take all the days off. And is going to take all the prescribed medications, right? Yeah. The Oxycontins, the Vicodins, they're going to get hooked. And then they're going to go in like, you see this all the fucking time, you know?
I know.
They sprain their fucking ankle, you know, or they hurt their pussies. And next thing you know, they're hooked on Oxy, you know? And that's
yeah. I try to get off as soon as they prescribe me Tylenol with codeine, which I do not take. I'm like, you know what? Let's just make it Tylenol.
Yeah.
And then they gave me, my body doesn't do it right with ibuprofen. So.
Or it reacts to
it just.
Well, apparently it's an inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory.
No, it's an inflammatory.
Oh,
meaning it gives you inflammation. So maybe that's why.
Maybe, yeah, because it gets me bloated. Like
for
like,
reals?
yeah, like.
Oh, shit.
It's hard for me to take a shit.
With ibuprofen?
Yeah. Yeah, so.
I'm going to do my research on that thing because I've heard a lot of bad things.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, you know, so, no. I'm like, you know what, let me.
Suck it up.
It up and, you know, I mean, if it's bad, you're like, okay, I'm going to take some, you know, maybe 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol.
Yeah. If that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but no, you know, now I'm just what 500 milligrams now of Tylenol every 8 hours. I'm moving my arm. I'm going to rehab and everything. So.
And so, what was it exactly that was going on? Did you have a rotator cuff or a tendon that was?
No, it's actually both of my shoulders. I have torn. What is it called? The labrum.
And what is that?
The labrum is the upper. It's like like the tendons. They look like lips.
Right.
It's one of the upper ones that it connects your shoulder up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's torn.
Oh shit.
So the problem with that one is that it's so deep in there. So what that one, it's really simple. They just they go in there and they repair it. They either stitch it up,
mm-hmm.
or if it doesn't need to be stitched up, then just clean it up.
Oh, okay, and it'll heal on its own.
Then it'll
Oh, I see.
So depending on what they do, then that's how long your recovery is going to be. And not only that, I also believe that if you take care of your body, if you eat the right things, if you're at one with your mind and body, your body heals faster.
Yeah, I agree 100%. When I'm eating dog shit and drinking a lot, I have some like a little paper cut that's like not leaving ever. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But when I'm trying my best at the very least to eat clean, even after a workout, I feel like I recover faster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because yeah.
Well, I mean, it's very important, especially because I'm going to your classes. I'm not just going to fucking Planet Fitness and jerking off. Like, goddamn. Like, I wake up on Wednesday, which is today, and I woke up feeling like shit. Like even what's his name? Coach, he gives us
Jaime.
Jaime.
Jaime is old school, bro.
Yeah,
he's old school.
Well, he's been with you for
He's
how long?
been with me for at least 10 years.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, dude.
You guys go way back.
Jaime has fights under him.
Really?
Yeah. He's got like maybe like 3 to 5 amateur fights.
Oh shit.
See, but this is the thing though. Like, is it really an amateur fight? People.
What do you mean by
see? We're talking about 90, 2000, early 2000s. I mean, is there a difference between an amateur punch and a pro punch to the face?
Okay, that's a great question. I would say no. I've been punched by both an amateur and yourself, and they both hurt the same. Maybe yours a little bit more because you have heavy hands, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so yeah, I get it. Back then there was no amateur fights. Back then it was just throw your ass in there. I was all right, figure it out.
And you never know. Maybe it's your first day on the job, and this guy has already seniority. He's going to regional manager. He's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. So this is the funny thing about back in our day when there was no fucking all this social media and YouTube was barely a thing, or was barely coming out, or it wasn't even out yet, so you didn't know who you were fighting.
There was no Kimbo Slice yet. There was
no. There was the thing is like I had a fight in Juarez. After I got back from San Diego, I was in excellent shape, dude. I mean, I was at the Lions Den for 3 years, training my ass off every day.
You just ate, slept,
getting my ass kicked.
Training.
Well, I mean, there was a lot more to that because, I had to get a job and,
right.
You know what I mean? And it's very expensive over there, so I suffered a lot over there. A lot of,
hungry nights. Sleepless nights.
Bro, an empty stomach.
We'll make a dog out of anybody.
Yeah, an empty stomach and a broken heart, bro. It does. So, and it was what am I trying to get to? So I was down there, right? So I was training for 3 years. I was training with professional fighters. At the time, I was only 19. You know what I mean? So I was like, I didn't soak it in as much as I should have. You know what I mean? But
you're a young man. It's obviously a little bit distracted here and there.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's the thing is that you're at the highest of the Lions Den at the time was the top of the food chain. All the UFC champions were coming out of the Lions Den. You know what I mean? So, and I was training with them at the time, you know, so it was a lot of me getting my ass kicked for a very long time, the whole freaking time, you know. So it was that, and it just grinding it and grinding it and grinding it. But by the time I came back here, my level of fighting was way above everybody else here in El Paso. Like,
Yeah.
not even my instructors had matches for me anymore.
You were already.
I was already in a league on my own. So
At that point, like, you have to fight, right?
So at that point, what you do is you look to make a team, because you need people.
Correct.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can train by yourself, and
Yeah, you're not gonna be hitting mitts on.
yeah, man, you need someone to hit your back. You need a different.
Somebody to push you also.
Yeah, of course, you know, a different look and anything. So it was. I think I was here for like 3-4 months, and then I got a call from one of the promoters in Juarez, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You want to fight?" And I'm like, "When?" They had like a month or something. Like, sign me up. Who am I fighting? Oh, we don't know yet. Okay.
You didn't give a fuck.
Give me what weight, you know, to just come and show up at the way you show up, and then we'll weigh you guys in, and then whoever is your weight class, that's who you're gonna fight.
Oh shit! So it's like a random ass.
Yeah. So then you know, like I took the team with me, you know, and we went to Juarez, and we get there, we weigh in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's this guy, you know, he's Fito is looking at the names. He's, oh yeah, we have this guy James Mills." And oh yeah, where's he from? Arizona. And I'm like, how many fights does he have? Oh, he's got like 30-something fights. I'm like, holy shit. I had like maybe like 5 or 6 fights at the time.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what I'm saying.
Holy
This was in
shit.
2002. So how do you look up a guy and see what he does? All I knew is that he was from Arizona, and that he had over 30 fights.
Yeah. So now it's all up into your imagination.
Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, well, I don't care. I've been training with pride fighters, UFC fighters. Like, it doesn't scare me. I'm not overconfident, but
you were confident.
yeah, of course, you know. But I'm like, the fear of like who he was. Like, I don't care who he is. You know, it's anybody's fight, anybody's game. You know, so. Yeah, I went in there and I finished them in like a minute or so.
Really?
Yeah.
So he on paper had more experience than you.
Way more
on
experience
on paper.
Yeah, on paper.
But
yeah.
on spirit, you were hanging out in the lands, which
yeah.
makes the difference.
Yeah, my skill level was way better than his. You know, and I was 22. So yeah, man, it's every fight, man. Every fight has a different experience. You know, something different happens in your life.
And how do you feel? Like, do you grow from it also, or do you? Because I hear that you leave a part of you in the cage sometimes, but it seems that you were just fucking people up like in the first round and shit. You know, like that video you showed me of like the head kick, like insane. You know, like what was that for the first round?
That was I think that was the third.
The third round.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was actually
the second or third. Yeah, and they're 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, but you were a finisher, so like you.
I finished most of my fights. I didn't have any fights go to decisions. I either knocked them out or submitted them, or they stopped the fight.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of skills too.
You weren't gonna leave it to the judges, or
Well, I mean, I wasn't even thinking of the judges.
you were just.
I was just thinking, I'm gonna
fight your ass off.
as soon as I'm gonna finish.
You know what's crazy? Like I realized that, like, even in my own thinking, right? 'Cause I'm gonna talk shit about myself. Like,
This is good brandy.
it's really good.
It's going down
It's
nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I think that cigar would be nice too.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So
Wild Hottie.
So
But like you're just like, you're not thinking of like, oh, but what about this? Oh, but what about that? You that's kind of like, you don't have the luxury to be analytically thinking when you're a fighter. You know, it's like balls out to the wall. You know?
There's a lot of thinking.
During the fight, of course.
During the fight, yeah.
But people before the fight, they're thinking, oh, but what if he took steroids? What if he's taller than me? What about his reach?
Everybody
He
was
has
on
30
roids,
fights.
dude. In our and that time of everything was everybody, bro. If you were not on roids, you were already losing.
Yeah.
You're already like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, well,
Yeah.
you're already a step behind. You know that guy's training
Like the
harder than you.
bodybuilding scene, you know?
Yeah, everybody was taking them, dude. I mean, it was a big thing. So, no, I never thought about that.
There was no reason to think about any of that shit.
Like now you do have to, because now this everybody's skillful. Everybody has skills.
And everybody's deadly.
There you go. You know what I mean? So now you have deadly motherfuckers on steroids.
It would be unacceptable for John Jones to consume PEDs.
I mean, he's been
Yeah. Well, allegedly. Hey, picograms. What do they call them? Picograms?
Yeah,
Man,
you know what? John
Jones.
Jones was in El Paso, at Cincinnati. It was right before one of his. I think it was right the before the Rashad Evans fight,
Okay.
and he was trashed out of his fucking mind. It was like a week before the fight, or I mean, it was close to the fight.
And he was hammered
And he was freaking hammered, bro. Like he was, drunk, and I'm sure he was on
other things.
yeah, all that good stuff.
May I see the blade?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, John Jones is the different beast.
He sure is.
I had a torch, but I fucking lost it. I don't know where I left it.
Wow, this tastes so good.
It smells delicious.
Anyways, man. So yeah, it's been nice to see. It's nice to see how everything. The community has grown from those days. Now you have jiu-jitsu gyms and MMA gyms at every corner. Which is great. Because I mean, it's one of those things where you're like, you need that competition to make you better. You need competition. You need there's.
I love that you're saying that, because a lot of people are afraid of confrontation, sure. But competition, that to me is like disgraceful, It's like, that is what makes America, how Donald Trump says, great. Like capitalism, having a Walmart and a Target, having a Bushido and a 10 Planet. Let's see who the fuck has the best shit,
Yeah. It's always, it's good competition, you know what I mean?
And it's even more beautiful when you start seeing it not as competition, but like as helping each other out in reality,
I mean, believe it or not, you need competition to get better. So it's just so a lot of people are so greedy, and the thing about it is that there's business for everybody. For everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great to have fucking gyms and different MMA, jiu-jitsu gyms everywhere, I mean,
The more the merrier is what you're saying.
yeah, not, good quality gyms too, like not just gyms, just,
do you think that the MMA community here in El Paso is solid? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not too ingrained with other than you. Like this, and I'm very satisfied with what I've seen. Like that's why I don't venture out and try to see what's going on at the other gyms. You know what I mean?
Everybody has a different culture. You know what I mean? What was the question again?
What do you think that like it's solid?
The MMA community it has died out a little bit.
Yeah, because it went mainstream, so now
You know what I mean? So as far as like, it's tough. It's tough. You know, it would be a lot better if there was more support. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
Like everybody will go watch a freaking UFC fight, but when there's fights in El Paso,
yeah, where the fuck is
everybody? You know what I mean? Oh, well, we want to go see John Jones. I'm like, yeah, but there's a John Jones here in El Paso that's coming up, and you're not supporting him.
Yeah, and if you support him, right here, right now, he won't be hanging out with the thoughties. He'll be hanging out with you once he gets the belt. You know.
That's what I'm saying. You know, and there's a lot of jealousy too, bro. There's a lot of stupid, man. But it's just.
What do you mean, like envy, like they don't want to, they want to see you do good, but just not better than.
Exactly. Exactly. Everybody has their opinions, and everybody's this and everybody's that. And I'm okay, well, you're that badass, and open up your own fucking gym then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So open it, and you know, welcome to the losing side of business for the first 7 years.
And then
if you make it through those 7 years, then you've made it.
You're low key dropping like even business advice, you know, like, and that's another thing that people don't even want to acknowledge about you, you know. That beyond the whole like punching people in the face, like
I built that place from the ground up, bro.
Dude, I fucking know, and it's just like
everything.
You have your team, you have your support group and everything, but god damn it, like it seems like it was a one man like show for the longest time that I've been there. Like you have been carrying the weight on a lot of sense, you know. And I'm not, again, you have your team, you know, like, but you are on top of everything.
You have to be. You have to be, you know. So, and people don't realize that, you know. People will say that, hey, you know, he's an asshole, and I'm like, yeah.
You have to be.
Open up your business so you can find out. Try to run a business with this instead of this, and we'll see you in about 6 months where you're at.
Bankrupt.
Yeah, you know. So, you know, and you know, and you don't want to follow the you know the rules or the policies, then go to another gym. One person leaves, 10 come in.
Because it's the culture that you got going on is very undeniable, you know. Like you cannot say that, like, you can say whatever you want about your teaching, whatever the fuck, right? Because that's kind of where it comes down to, right? People are too sensitive. They don't wanna look in the mirror, because that's all you're doing, really. Like when you tell me that I'm a fucking pendejo, I cannot fucking be like, oh, fucking Hugo, like told me a lie.
Oh, he's negative. No,
you're putting your fucking mirror in people's faces, and it's like, look at yourself, and then people are disgusted by that.
Yeah,
and they blame you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got your work cut out for you, man.
It's hard, bro. It's hard, you know, because and then not only do you have to worry about that going on, but then also the you know the students sleeping around.
Yeah.
The instructors sleeping around with fucking the students, and I'm like,
that cannot be happening. Staff, business,
bro. It's like, are you serious? Like, you know, like there's how many girls and how many dudes are in El Paso, and you got to pick one where you're eating every day. Let me just go shit right there where I eat, and let me see how that's gonna work out. I don't see I look at people like that, and I'm just like, you're a fucking retard. Like, in every sense of the...
Like, how did you not see that shit was gonna hit the
It's
fan?
been you've been seeing it happen for the last, I don't know how many years, and every time that happens, somebody gets fired or somebody gets kicked out. What makes you any different? You don't see me doing it.
And I'm sure you've had chances, bro.
You know,
Like,
you're in a business. Yes, bro. You're in a business where you know, and you know, also, you know, instructors or professors and coaches sleeping around with the moms.
Walk like that.
Yeah, bro.
So you've seen all sorts
I've
of
been
crazy
through
shit.
it all, bro. I've been through it all, and I had to be the one that has to
Mitigate the issue.
nip it in the butt.
How's that?
And I have never said anything bad about those people. Those people do that to me, or you know, I get them out of there or whatever it is, and they go out and they start saying this and start saying that, and I'm like, do you realize that I can just expose the crap out of you, and you probably won't ever get hired in any gym in El Paso. You know, freaking home wreckers. I mean, it's bad, bro. It's bad, and I take none of it. I accept none of it there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I mean, we're in the topic. There was this one instance that I was gonna cross that line. I was gonna be, at the very least, can I have your number type of shit. But you know what? Like, it felt wrong, dude. Like, it literally felt wrong, and it was literally my second, third day, like there, you know. And I was like, I don't know. There's something special here. There's something like I go in the spiritual realm sometimes, you know. And like, this is my space.
I'm glad you connect. You have a connection with that.
Yes. Like, I want to keep that spot clean. Like, all of this stuff, man, it's filthy. My life has been filled with destruction and nastiness. And at the very least, I want to be able to go to Bushido without bullshit, you know?
Yeah. That's how I want to keep it in there.
Yeah. So
everybody just want to go to just whatever gym they want to go to, but they want to do whatever the hell they want. So why are you coming here? Like, are you just coming here for the... There's got to be structure. And you could tell the people that have no structures in their lives because they go there and they either adapt it or they repel it. They're like, you know what? This is not my thing. It's just way too structured. They call it strict.
Yeah. Yeah, like...
But you can't have everyone fucking everybody around. And then, you know, I'll tell you a story. I won't say names, but I'll tell you a story. Okay? So there's this person, you know, she's already slept with like 2 or 3 guys from the place, right? And they, you know, I'm not going to say he or she, but, you know, they pick another person from there to have a relationship with or have an affair or whatever.
Have fun together.
Yeah. So when the person's ready to have a more serious relationship with the dudes, you know, that she met, well, now this dude or this person is mad because
this other
dude hit it first. Literally, bro. Literally. Those were the words that were... I was like... So I had to come in and mediate.
Are you kidding me, dude?
They're
bringing this shit to your fucking...
Yes. But it's all happening there, bro. It's all happening there, right? It's funny. Yeah. It's
what the fuck?
And he's like, they're beefing. These guys have known each other longer than they've known this girl, right? They've been training partners for at least 6 to 8 years. The funny thing is that this person's married.
Fuck.
Okay? So the husband's sitting there. Right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
So there's 3...
There's 2 to 3 dudes. 3 to 4 guys that already on the mat that have been in there, in and out, and the husband's there.
And the husband's...
And then these dudes are beefing because it's like, oh yeah, well I hit, he hit it first, so you can't roll with him because. And I'm like, what? Problems, dude. And I'm like, that's the kind of stupid shit that I have to deal with. It's stupid, bro. And I'm like, I'm a grown fucking man, bro. Like,
dude, if I would have known that this was happening behind closed doors, I would have gotten you like a joint or something, like some antidepressants. God damn it, man! Like,
yeah, man, it's just dumb, And then you cut ties with them, and you're
the bad guy.
Yeah, you're an asshole. You're too strict, or you're mean. You're this, you're that, and I'm like, bro, if I were to say everything that I'm about you.
Yeah.
And I would put it out there like you put out there that I'm a dick, that I'm this, and I'm not. Okay, so let's see who's gonna,
Well, I mean, even up until now, you're being very respectful. I have a lot of people that I would like to call out, and I don't think I would be so amiable as you, And it just goes to like I'm learning a lot just by talking to you because. Here I have somebody that I truly respect, and he teaches me discipline. He teaches me integrity. He tells me to keep his fucking spot clean in order to keep my soul clean. Okay, perfect, right? But you're also saying like be forgiving, right?
Yes. You can't live with that type of. I can't. You know what I mean?
You have to let it go.
Yes. We had this conversation. Some people choose to run away from it, and some people choose to face it right away. I'm that guy.
I'm the opposite, to be honest with you.
I know.
That's why I respect you a lot.
I know.
Because I see a lot of the qualities that I would want for myself in you,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like what would you tell somebody like me that feels sometimes afraid to face life head on,
What are you afraid of?
Just like failure, even embarrassment, making a fool of myself, like all these egotistical things that
it's your insecurities.
Yeah, my insecurities get in the way mostly,
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You keep running and keep running. There's only so far. It's so fast and so far you can run. Things are gonna catch up. Me, it's more honorable, and it goes back to martial arts.
The samurai way.
The samurai, exactly. To face things right there and there, like when it happens, and get them over with, then running away from it, and the elephant is still there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what ruined my marital situation, my family, because, like sometimes tensions are high. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna go for a drive and run away from the problem. Yeah, what the fuck? You're gonna run away from the problem? Yeah.
It's sometimes I do that. Sometimes you have to do that, but you're not running away.
You're letting things cool off.
Yes.
Right?
So
okay.
what you say is like, hey, I need some time to cool off. I think you need some time to cool off. So don't just leave me alone. Let me be me. Let me process this stuff that's going on. And then when we're both calm and collective, then we can talk. I still do that till this day. I mean, till now, because
it's better than engaging.
Exactly. Or when I don't, she sees that I'm like,
okay.
She leaves me alone. She knows.
She respects you in that sense.
Of course. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to say that you're sorry. Because I'm a man, soy macho, so
I said it because I meant it, and type of shit.
Bro, you don't know how many times I said, you know what, I'm sorry, I fucked up. It's my fault. You know how many fights and how many arguments saying I'm sorry has like saved me from or saved us from? Because we're not perfect, bro. We fuck up. You know what I mean? We fuck up, and you have to be a man enough to say, I fucked up. It was my fault. You know, I didn't know that. I didn't have that when I was your age.
So maybe start incorporating that.
It comes with wisdom, bro. It comes, you cannot buy it. It's experience, and experience is only, you get experience through life, living.
Well, that's a fucking anxiety of a young man, right? Like the lack of experience, the lack of wisdom. Like being capable is one thing, but like not knowing how to get it done it's a total different beast, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's plenty of people who are missing an arm or some limb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting after it. They're doing what they're supposed to, chasing dreams. And then you have a perfectly healthy man who's throwing his life away on Pornhub, you know? It's like, fuck, man.
It's my wife. Let me just text her. She's like, are you there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. So, anyways, so yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that you still have a lot to learn, and I'm still learning as I go, man. You know, I'm it's just one of those things. I'm always looking for wisdom.
It never stops.
No, I can't. I'm not wired that way.
You're not gonna be complacent one day and say, "Oh, I can retire right here." Right?
No,
this is a good stopping point.
Like even you know, till now, you know, till this day, I've been doing this mostly my whole life, right? The fighting and teaching and all this other stuff. And you'll see me every freaking day studying videos.
Just watching film.
Yeah, film and studying techniques, you know, that, yeah, I can't train like I used to.
We can still study.
I get it. Physically, I'm not able to do what I used to do. But my mind is like a sponge. You know what I mean?
So you're kind of like getting in touch with your inner child, like again, you know, because they always say that like children are like sponges, right? And like that's the whole like circle of life. Like you grow old, you get callous, life sucks, and then you really get old and wise, and then boom.
That's that you said it. You know, that's the problem is that we stop being kids as we get older.
We take ourselves too serious.
And then, you know, I mean, responsibilities, you have your own kids, and then you're, you know, oh, no, now you can't do this because you're too old. Why not? I mean, why can't I enjoy myself? Why can't I come into here and do a podcast with you and have a drink and a cigar?
Right. Just because you're
just because I have to go to work tomorrow at this time, and who cares? Like,
you're still human. You're still enjoying the experience of life.
You know, it hit me at 40. It kind of hit me again, and I'm like, okay, how much longer do I have here? I don't know. I do not know. If you ask me what I'm doing tomorrow, I'll tell you I don't know. This is what I have to do, but am I going to get there?
You don't know.
I don't know. So guess what I do? I live in the moment.
That's why you're able to smile.
That's what yeah.
Despite everything.
Yeah. I live in the moment. There is nothing that's going to happen tomorrow that I can control today. First of all, I don't know if I'm going to get there. Who knows? Are you going to wake up? I'm not saying, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Life is so fragile. As you get older, you start understanding that a little bit more. When I was, how old are you? 20?
I'm 25.
Bro, at 25, I wasn't even thinking about, like, I was too worried about the tomorrow.
When you're introduced to the concept of death, I've had a friend of mine who got pushed out of a moving car on I-10. A semi ran over him, you know? And that's, like, that guy was, like, a mess, man. Like, he went to jail. He was on the run. God knows what he was up to up until that point to get him that kind of death, right? But that opened up my eyes, you know. I'm like, man, any day could be your day, you know. You could piss off the wrong guy, or you could like cross the street without looking both ways. Anything.
You
Like,
just never know, bro. That's what I'm saying.
well, I mean, let's touch base on the fucking shooting that just happened just now today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I was just referencing the 2019 Walmart shooting, and I was just saying this is an epidemic. Like, the problem is not like that I'm not empathetic, is that it's happening every goddamn week, you know?
That's true.
And the rest of the countries like laugh at us, you know? They're well, because we have purple hair, and our men and our women have bigger balls than us, and fucking, you know, like the only people that can fuck with us are the demented psychopaths that shoot up our schools and our Walmarts and our like shopping centers. Like, we're decaying from the inside out.
I mean, but why? I mean, why is it happening though?
Well, that's a question that I wanted to pose to you, you know, because it seems that we're losing, you said it yourself, you know, we're losing the ability to train in the traditional way in martial arts, but we're also losing the way of a traditional man, you know. We don't have protectors, we don't have providers, we just have people that want to take and take and take, you know. And then there's also the people that feel like the world's doing them dirty, you know. And then they want to do something about it. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a fucked up way of doing things about it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I mean, I don't know how to conceptualize that.
I can relate. I don't want to relate to that. You know, it's like, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I know people have fucked up lives, you know what I mean? I grew up,
I know.
you know, fucked up too, like, in a lot of, you know, but I never crossed my mind, hey, let me go shoot up a mall or a freaking school. What is that gonna, I mean, what, I don't know.
Well, what I have come to realize is that these people are not rational thinkers like us. So that's why it's very difficult for us to understand them, you know, because we're like, how can you look at a child and say, I'm going to hurt this
I'm going to shoot this
thing.
person,
Yeah.
this little
Or how do you
human.
see that beautiful old lady that you should be helping cross the street, but instead you're going to AK-47 her? Like, this is degeneracy at its utmost, you know?
I'll take it back to the, you know, where the source where it's coming from. It's parenting.
Yeah, look at their 18-year-old kids, you know,
There's
playing Call of Duty all day.
there's kids having kids nowadays. I mean, I've seen 13-year-old girls already pregnant. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're gonna have a kid when you're 14 while you're still a freaking kid.
And what is the future of that kid, you know? Like,
I mean, what? I mean, I
Coach is censoring himself.
no, man. I have like so much to say about a lot of different things, you know. But you know, my way of thinking is different, and it's nowadays is insensitive and it's negative. So you know, it's like, why does this keep happening? Well, because there's no fucking structure at home. Hello. But then you find a place where there's structure, and you're like, oh my God, this is dude.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, he's, you know.
Fuck, man, everything's upside down then.
It is.
And that's why my head hurts, because I'm trying to make sense of it all, and
You
it will never
can't.
make sense.
It'll never make sense, bro.
Fuck, man. You know, like, I wish deeply, you know, like, these kids would have been able to meet you, like those Columbine shooters, that motherfucker that shot out the Walmart, or whoever. I still don't have all the details. I just know that 1 dead and 3 injured from the shooting today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if they met you? Like, what if they had a time to say, hey, man, like, I'm getting bullied out here. I'm getting called a faggot or whatever the fuck they're being called. Like, what do? Well, you fucking put your dukes up, you know, and you defend yourself, and you fucking earn your stripes, you know.
Well, I mean, you gotta learn how to fight.
Yes.
How to defend yourself, and then you do something about it. But most people are afraid of looking for something, a place or somebody to help them learn
They rather play the victims.
Play the victims, and which is the case in everything. It's they're always victims. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
never.
They're never accountable.
They never hold themselves accountable to things. You know, and that takes me another thing. In my, when I teach classes, like I'm gonna hold yourself accountable. That's my job. I'm gonna tell you the truth, even though it hurts, and it hurts your little feelings, and it hurts your little wee wee.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. So the thing about fighting is that the first thing you need to do is you need to be honest with yourself. If I can't get you to be honest with yourself, then that's all that fighting is, bro. Like, you have to look at yourself and say, well, this is me, and this is my weaknesses. These are my strengths. And by telling someone that, you look great. I mean, I'll give you the compliment when you fucking earn it, when I see it, and when I see you I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you know what I mean? I'll let you know. It's like, no, you look like shit.
Yes.
And
you're very indiscriminate. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be your own goddamn, like, your own coach, like, giving a demonstration. You'll be like, get up. Like, that's not how you do it. I've seen you do that. I've seen you correct your own teachers, So it's like, it goes, like, it's the chain of command in your sense, Like, you keeping everybody accountable from the top, bottom.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a lot of times when my instructors tell me, oh, do this instead. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, you show me. Oh, okay, I see it now. All right. Yeah. You also have to be coachable. Let's just face it. I don't know everything.
Right.
It's impossible. There's new fucking things coming out every day.
But if you stay coachable, you might get an idea from here.
No. You stay open-minded and you keep doing research. And then having experience like I do of real life hand-to-hand combat fighting, like, then you'll say, okay, well, that shit will never work in a real fight. And then you say, you know what? Yeah, that can actually work.
Have you seen those bullshito videos?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos. It's funny.
Well, I mean, it goes from like the Wing Chun, like I touch you and your pressure point, you die kind of thing, all the way to like, okay, that might work. But like you say, since I've been in a fight, it might not. You might get kneed in the face, It is very important to have at least that kind of perspective also,
Experience.
Because I watch Roberto Duran, Tyson, Salvador Sanchez. I'm like, wow, like they're just doing the most nuanced movements and and every punch misses, right? I tried to do it and I'm just eating fucking punches for breakfast,
Yeah, but you haven't applied yourself to the
No, I
completely
haven't.
like
Absolutely
those guys.
No. I wouldn't even dare to say.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can. I take you back to the same thing. It's like these guys have been doing this. They wake up at 6 a.m. They run
5 miles, 10 miles.
They come home. They showered. By 10 o'clock, they're at the gym. They're there for 2 hours. They come home.
Breakfast,
lunch, take an hour nap. They're back at the gym at 2. They do another hour. They come back home, they rest, and they're back at the gym at 6, 7 for another hour or 2. Every day.
Rinse and repeat.
As opposed to somebody who goes twice a week
yeah.
for an hour and a half.
No,
and that's where reality check comes in.
But my point was that, like, when I look at them, I think, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
But it's only when I try it and I get that experience that I'm like, I'm delusional. I'm delusional. I have to be honest with myself.
Exactly. So, yeah. I mean, that's why they call it a profession, right?
Yeah, and that's why they're professionals, because they act accordingly.
Yeah.
You know, they're not like, oh, I sprained my toe. God damn it, how am I gonna run my 5 miles?
They're not fucking out partying.
That's my Achilles heel. I think. You know, I think at some point I'm gonna have to choose one or the other.
But you're 25.
Yeah.
You know, you're 25, but you know, it all depends on what your goals are. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to be an athlete, or you want to be a semi-athlete and still, you know, go out and enjoy the partying scene and all that other stuff? You know, I mean, what are you aiming towards?
Yeah.
You got to be realistic. Well, you know, am I gonna be a world champion? Probably not. So, or probably I will if I apply myself and I leave everything, you know.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I've actually considered that question, and it's like, I literally have, if I wanted to, I have 2 years to do that, and I have to start now. You know.
Okay.
Other than that, like my time as a
Well, you're 25, so yeah, right. If you're gonna do it, you want to do it now.
yeah, because by the time I'm 29, 30, like things will start to slow down, especially if I don't fucking break up with my baby girl over here.
That's
No.
for sure.
Fuck yeah. I don't know, man. I'm afraid because of the possibility, you know, that like, what if you do apply? You know, I think that is very scary.
That's
Like
for sure.
to think, what if I do apply myself for those 2 years? What could happen? You know, but a lot of people just say, what if?
You'll never know till you actually.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll never know until you apply yourself. And you don't want to be that person that is fucking, you know, 50 and you, I should have, would have, could have, you know? Like, that's what I'm saying. And like if you're going to do it. Do it. And even if it doesn't take you where you want to go, it's
It'll take
going
me
to
somewhere.
fucking teach you something. Promise you. It's going to teach you something. It's going to be an experience that's going to take you to another experience. Okay, well, I didn't do this, but I learned all of this from it. So it's still it's a gain because I got good experience from it. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. I you know what I mean? Now my mind's changed, so I can do something else, but I'm able to do it because I applied myself for this 2 years. So I know what I can do
With discipline.
for this. Yeah. Yep. So it's tough, man. It's tough because like we talk about it again. It's like society tells you to do this. You know what I mean? And I've never gone with the stream of society. I've
You're
always
contrarian.
gone. Yes, I've always gone against the current. You know what I mean? Like swim.
You see the herd going that way? It's like, okay, I'm going that way.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like if it's worth it, it's not gonna be fucking easy. I know that, and I'm not afraid of hard work. You know what I mean? I'm willing to do what I need to do to get there.
I hate that. Like, I'm the type of person that's always looking for a self-help book or that motivational speech on YouTube to get me fired up. Just call up Hugo. Just tell him that you're fucking feeling like a piece of shit, and he'll tell you what's up. You know, like
You're being a little bitch.
yeah, man.
The motivation's only gonna last you a couple of hours, maybe a
And you say
day,
that a
two.
lot. You say
You know
that
what I
all the
mean?
time.
Discipline is like, you know, what Mike Tyson said. I love what he said about discipline. I don't know if you heard that quote.
Go ahead and tell the audience.
The quote about, you know, discipline is doing something that you hate to do, but like you love doing it.
Yes. Amen to that.
And it's the truth. That's what discipline is. Motivation is only going to last 5 minutes. You get motivated when you're drunk. But once that freaking high
Yeah.
comes on, you're like, oh, never mind. You know what I mean?
I've seen a lot of cokeheads
Yeah.
that are ready to start a business, dude. Like, on the spot.
And the next day, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, never mind, bro. Yeah. Yeah, you know? The discipline is like a guy that has a, you know, a night that he went out or she went out and you had a drink
and you got fucked up and you have to wake up at 7 in the morning and have to go and got to do what you got to do. You're not feeling motivated. You just freaking, you drank out, you went out, you could have, it would have been better if you would have stayed home.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to go out and then fuck, I have to be that. I have to go run 3 miles. I have to go work out and get, that's discipline. Waking up and doing it, like, not a big deal. I feel like fucking shit, but I'm still gonna do it.
It's not debatable at all.
You don't give yourself that luxury.
I've been reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and well, for me, Stoicism, it's like, I think you would love that because you embody a lot of these philosophies, right? Like being centered and not, just concrete in your emotions. And I'm not gonna come to your vicinity and make you feel like a certain way, like angry or upset, because you're in control of yourself.
Right. Control your emotions.
Yeah, you have discipline even on that level. So like what Marcus Aurelius says is like exactly that. Like you have to be very, very fucking strict with yourself.
Yeah.
But we're strict with others. Like we're always pointing the fingers like, oh, you should drop some weight. Oh, you should clean your room. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should wash your car. But what about you? Your life is fucking dog shit,
It's very true. It is very true. A lot of it. I'm not gonna. Yeah. So I can't be telling somebody to, hey, you do this when, I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah.
It's kind of like contradicting yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, hypocrisy is like in the air.
Yeah. I mean, you hit the freaking nail right on the head. So, yeah, it is a thing. But.
So, like, tell me a little bit more about, like, your youth. Like, how what was Hugo like at my age? Like.
How old are you? 25?
25, yeah.
I was a mess. At 25.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what? It was mostly because of my personal choices of relationship.
Oh, the woman you were involved with.
That always was my biggest Achilles heel.
Fuck.
It's the person that you choose to be that's gonna either make you or help you make you or break you. So I tell you, be wise, my friend, when it comes down to picking who you're gonna be with. Okay? But at the same time, you have to be at one with yourself too.
Right.
You cannot be a fuck up
and expect to have like this
and
beautiful-
yeah, and you know what? And expect someone to be whole. Like come in, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Because if you're fucked up and somebody is not, that relationship is not going to work out. It might work out for the first 3 months, but then after he or she sees the fuck up that you are, he'll be like, hell no.
The trajectory even, because sometimes you can see somebody like bottomed out, but like you just see them on the come up and you're like, okay, I could ride this wave.
Yeah.
But when you just see like this motherfucker's just hitting wall after wall after wall, something's going on here.
Yeah.
You're destroying all your relationships.
And if you don't love yourself, if you don't value, if you don't yourself, if you don't have any value your sanity, then you're gonna go down that freaking roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, I was 25. I had so much on my plate at the time. Get this, okay? So my personal life, was a mess.
In shambles.
Yes, good word. And then I had 3 jobs in a week.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay, I was running a business, fighting, and doing all that, everything that has to do with business by myself.
What the fuck?
Just sit down and like, how the hell did you do it? I don't know.
Let me ask you, because the how do you do it is nuanced, right? But like how did you keep the stress away? Like, how did you not pull your hair out? And,
Well, I mean, look at me. I don't have any hair.
yeah, but like, you know what I mean, right?
No, yeah, I know what you mean, dude. If you ask me what if I remember my time, my life from like 21 to like 26 or 7, it was a blurred.
It just came and went.
I mean, I was on the go 24/7. I maybe slept like an hour or two.
Would you advise that young man to maybe stop and smell the roses? Or do you think that was necessary, like that type of vigor and
It was
drive?
necessary. What I would go back and change is my personal life. As far as like
your
my
relationship,
yes,
shit like that?
yes, I would be by myself.
I resonate a lot, man. I mean, my choice in women has been,
It's everybody's weakness, bro.
yeah, man, because a pretty face does not constitute a good woman, you know? But it's like a good woman usually doesn't have a pretty face.
I'll tell you one thing, bro. Look, you're still young, so I tell you to. I will tell the younger me. You. Focus on you. Focus on you. Fuck the pussy. Stop thinking about it. Stop fucking chasing it. Chase you. Chase you. I will tell you one thing. Once you find the you will have all the pussy you want. You know why? Because women love success. Success. They're attracted to success. So if you're successful with whatever you're doing, pussy is the last thing that's going to be
on my mind,
missing from your life. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, and I mean,
So-
if I put things in perspective, it's like if I haven't been able to do that quantum leap and really take off, it's because I gotta go and fix things with this chick, or I have to spend my money on Valentine's type of shit, you know. It just happened yesterday, so you know.
I say, once again, you're following society. I'm 40 years old. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to be rich. I'm not looking for anything, any of that. I think happiness and gratitude is my greatest wealth. Of course, other than my health. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and it should have been said, like the rat race is not about the money, it's about having peace of mind, having happiness.
Yeah. And the thing is that to live, listen to this, live in gratitude. Your best attitude is gratitude. I take that bro, to heart, and as an everyday, because I know what it's like to have nothing, to have to pick up a mattress that was all pissed on from a dumpster, carry it on my back,
and use that as your bed.
And use that as my bed. It was the most comfortable freaking mattress I've ever slept on. It was all fucking peed on. I didn't care, bro.
It was a bed.
It was a bed to me, and it folded when I laid in the middle. It folded me like I was like in a taco, bro, and I was just like protected by. I'll tell you some stories, bro. It's from having that and having to not being able to eat for days, just water. Having to go and steal for necessity. Fuck, I haven't eaten in 3 days. Let me go to a Dollar's to see if I can steal some ramen noodles. Because I didn't have the money. All my money went to pay.
Gym and stuff.
No, not even the gym. It was the food, the well, the food that I didn't have, but the bills. San Diego was expensive, bro.
Even at the time.
Expensive, and I was living in a freaking little trailer home. It was a trailer park. You know what I mean?
So you're like borderline homeless.
Dude, I mean, it was. I had a roof on top of my head. I had carpet. I had no transportation, no dishes, no food. You know, to now, you know, I mean, you know, being successful.
Yeah, and I mean,
so
those experiences are necessary because, like,
builds character.
It builds character, but on top of that, like, if you think about it, all these people who don't even know what struggle is, don't even know what hunger is. They just know that, oh, it's time to stuff my face with some Twinkies. Yeah. You know, let me turn on my favorite show on Netflix.
Yeah. You know what I see nowadays also, that parents, it's people my generation that fucked up
my generation.
Your generation. It's the people like my generation that had it hard and we struggled, that we made it easy for these fucking pussies that are walking around nowadays. That everything is like, oh, they don't like me. I'm always the victim. I'm always this. I'm always that.
Well, let me ask you this, and I already know the answer, but I'm gonna see if I could penetrate. If you were a father of a boy, would you want him to go through the same experiences as you?
No.
And that's the thing. Like, parents get on this trip that they want to protect them from their own past. They don't let them create their own future.
The thing about it is, I know I wouldn't have no child should go through the shit that I went through.
I know. It's fucking horrid.
Okay, but no child of mine it's gonna be silver spooned, because I understand that in order for that kid to be successful, he has to struggle. So yes, I would make it hard for him or her.
Maybe not in your own way of your own struggle, rather. You're not going to replicate your life for them.
No.
But wake them up and it's 10 push-ups, motherfucker.
No, bro. Like my thing would be like, you when you turn 15, you're going to get a job. Whatever it is, okay. Oh, teach them. See, nobody teaches anybody how to financially, like, what it is to pay bills. I would have, hey, you're 15, you have a job, you're paying me $200 a month for rent. I don't like. Well, hey, I don't care if you like it. This is gonna prep you for
the real life,
the real world. And that's why you have all these people running around that are freaking 30 years old with their mom's tit in their mouth still.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It's fucking... Dude, I'm telling you. I go through this on a daily basis. These moms are like hovering, bro.
They're even suffocating the kid, right?
Over their and they're not kids anymore, dude. They're not kids. They're 12 years old going into
young adult
teenage years, dude, which are freaking horrible. They're the hard times, you know. Everything's changing. You're finding out there's hair in places that you're like, what the hell? You're waking up and you're got a little woody going on. You're like, what the hell? You know what I mean? There's all this stuff, and now you're starting to notice girls and yourself and all this stuff, you know, that's going on. You know, so.
And then on top of that, you have your mother making sure that no boo boo, and it keeps you in that.
I get it, bro. I get it. You want to keep your kid in a freaking bubble. You wanna still keep your titty in his mouth.
But
you want to protect them. But a woman can only
raise a baby to a boy.
After that, she's done.
How the hell is she? How does she know how to teach her kid to be a man?
Yep.
How are you gonna teach him to be a man?
I've been doing some research, and apparently the statistics go like this, and it's very interesting. The probabilities of any child to end up in a penitentiary are very, very high in divorce cases, but in particular when the kid goes to the woman. When the kid stays with both parents, it's the same as if it was a divorce and the kid went with the dad. So isn't that interesting? You know,
It's
like the key here seems to be the masculine essence. You know,
but it's toxic. It's toxic.
it's toxic as fuck.
Masculinity.
Yeah,
Masculinity,
and then fuck up your relationship and your marriage here in Texas, and the kid goes with the feminine side, you know, and that's okay.
It's so biased, bro. When it comes down to that, to the you know, I'll tell you a perfect example of how fucked up the laws in Texas are, that it favors women. Okay, so it's a family member of mine. This guy takes care of his daughter 24/7. At least 5 days out of the week, the girl is with him, his daughter. Guess who gets the child support here?
The woman, but he has basically custody over.
But physically, not on paper, his daughter is with him 24/7. The mom is out partying, you know, fucking guys, and they're not together anymore. But that's how fucked up shit is. It's like, really? Like,
And as a man, you have to suck it up because it's in the name of your child, right? It's in the name of parenthood and all this shit, you know? But, I mean, the whole, like, seeing your baby mama with another man out partying and over here, like, while you're over here, like, literally busting your ass off so she could fucking make ends meet.
yeah, you know? He has to get jobs where he's available.
You
How
know,
fucked up is that?
It goes back to what you keep saying. Like, choose your fucking woman rights.
Well, I mean,
It's very important.
how do you do that when you're 25?
Well, that's why they say, don't do it. Don't do it.
That's what I keep telling you. Chase you, bro. Chase your goals. Grind for them. Like, find you. Once you do that,
Everything else.
and you're whole, you're at peace, everything else will fall into place. But we're so busy chasing the pussy, chasing it, right?
I feel like it's like a dog with a. Like
You know,
it's
that's
there,
why
it's
that's
right
why women call us dogs.
Oh, you just show them a little bit of meat.
Yeah, you're fucking chasing. You're chasing, but that's what they want. They want you to do.
You know, I would even. I feel very ashamed of myself now because I was even gonna take this conversation kind of like, but how do I pick up a chick? No, dude, like fuck that shit. You know, like.
Stop thinking about the pussy, bro.
Dude, honestly.
Get your life together. Get your goals. Write them down.
But you know what's crazy? It's so liberating. It's so fucking liberating when you just stop thinking about that and then you start focusing on the arithmetics of living your own life, you know?
You become a very powerful man.
Once you remove
your remove the... Yes.
Is that why they're promoting pornography for my generation so much? Like you see it on the YouTube. You see it with the Cardi B's. Like you don't have to go to the website anymore. Like you could just go to YouTube and you see satanic shit. You see degenerate stuff. You know, you see these women, well, like an ex-stripper, Cardi B, like showing her tongue and her booty and all this shit.
It sells, right?
It sells. Making a lot of money, getting a lot of attention.
There you go.
Fuck.
You know, so it's reality. That's the reality of it. Is that's what it is. You know.
So this is what I'm getting from this whole shebang. It's like, yeah, there's distractions, there's degeneracy, but it's up to you to be disciplined enough to say no to drugs, no to alcohol, no to chasing pussy and simping.
See,
And no to pornography, right?
it's not necessarily that, you know. It's just we get so caught up in chasing when you should be chasing the real stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, like, who the fuck am I? What do I like? You know, who is I without this? If I didn't have this, if I didn't have to chase this and spend time on this, and I focused on this, where would I be, or who would I be? So find out who the hell you are.
Independent of everything external.
Yes, find out who you are. Find out, reach your goals. Your personal goals. Your financially, you have to have stability. That's everybody's biggest problem. It's a financial, and then when the financial is fucked up, then everything else gets fucked up.
Yeah. No matter how great your relationship, it's gonna.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it costs. Everything costs money.
Yeah.
It's not like we have a beach to go to. In San Diego, it was like, well, I don't have money, but let's go to the beach.
Yeah.
You don't need money to go to the beach.
We'll make a date
It
out of
don't
it.
fucking matter. It didn't matter, but we don't have that luxury here. Where are you gonna go?
You want to go to Trans Mountain?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, you could do that too, and it costs zero money.
And I mean, if you're with a wholesome woman, she would appreciate anything. But the thing is, like, quite frankly, the thing that a young man is doing is trying to find that wholesome woman and hitting a brick wall with all these thoughties, So it's like, let's stop playing Russian roulette, guys, Hugo's telling us a command and we shall follow.
No, man, I'm just giving you advice.
No, I know,
you know what
dude,
I mean?
but it's Bible, and I appreciate you,
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. It's like, you know what? The advice you asked me, what advice would you give yourself? And I'm like, I just told you.
Yeah.
That's what I would, and I would have.
No, you're giving it to everyone listening to this.
Yeah, I hope so. I
Like,
hope so. But a lot of what is the Hispanic way. You know what I mean? We're so.
Gotta get laid.
You know what I mean? Pues jálesela, güey.
I also think, well, what is the whole consensus of trying to get laid? Because it's like, I already got laid. I have a kid. And, it's like, mission accomplished. You're right. I'm wasting my fucking time. On
Listen, I want you to.
I'm listening.
Okay. So once you find that person, and you find that person and you're settled and everything. How many hours of the day do you spend fucking? Think about
Not
it.
even one.
Think about it.
Yeah, you're right. And as the relationship grows and expands and becomes more concrete, less and less sex.
Yeah, exactly. But we're over here thinking we're chasing the pussy, like, and then you find that one person that's whole, and it's like, okay, well, maybe when you do is 30 minutes. If you're if
you're a stallion.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So how many? I think about it. Ask yourself that question: how many hours of the day do you spend fucking?
Okay. Yeah.
To put things into perspective.
And how much time of your actual day you're putting into theoretically. Oh my God. The math is fucked. Even economically speaking, this is fucked. You're allocating so much resources into something that it's like, even if you do get it, it's like, what is the ROI? Like, you're not going to be fucking all day, every day.
Exactly. I think the light just turned on, didn't it?
Shit, man. I'm a fucking idiot. That's true enlightenment, right? When you start believing.
You put things into perspective, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Shit, man. Like, it's like, there's so many, and don't get me wrong, like, a good company, especially from a female, it's beautiful. But like,
yeah.
But like, again, from a good woman.
The right
woman.
woman.
when you're dealing with this like celostina or some crazy chick with jealousy problems and it goes deep, you know. And then you have the ones that are very disrespectful and they start having sex with your friends and shit like that. So what the
that's
fuck?
fucked up. Yeah.
That's your generation, bro.
That was a no-go for you guys?
Fuck no, bro.
Really?
Hell no. Listen. Now we live in a generation where it's cool that you had sex with my girl.
No, it's not cool.
I would be hearing these guys, bro, like at the gym that were, you know, this was about maybe like about 10 years ago. So that makes them about your age right now, like 27, 28.
Sure.
You know? And they're like, oh yeah, bro, you know, I fucked your girl, blah, blah, blah. But whatever, you know, it's cool, you know, she's with me now. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, I was like, bro, I'm like, if you ever like even try to like hit on my girl, I'm like, you'll be looking, you'll wake up looking at the stars, bro. And,
Yeah.
And
I always tell my friends,
hell no.
I'm like, with all due respect, your girl is neither pretty nor ugly. I don't. She's invisible to me, you know.
And that's how we should. That's G code.
Yeah.
But you know how many people have G code? Not many. Just like a lot of people don't have, what is it called? Loyalty.
Yeah, I think that's even more scarce. It's not
Yep.
easy to be a G, but to be loyal, it's free.
You know what I mean? And you know what? In loyalty has an expiration date.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, what I've seen.
Oh, so there, it's like
It's a ticking.
my allegiance to you.
It's a ticking. Yeah, yeah,
It's only
Yeah,
until
you
the
have
grass is greener.
yeah. But yet you have people like me that if you're loyal to me, I'm loyal to you. Even when you're not loyal to me, it takes some time for me to say fuck, you know, like.
Well, I mean, look at all these motherfuckers trying to spit on your face. And
I
you're
mean,
still-
exactly. And these are people that I've actually helped in every aspect of their
you
lives.
loved. It's like
Exactly.
What the fuck, you know?
Exactly.
Like, that makes me very sad, you know.
So-
because I know that for you to open up in that sense, because you're a good man, despite whatever the fuck anybody wants to say about your teaching strategies, you know. But you're a good man. But you're also hard to penetrate, you know. Like, so if anybody's in your circle, it's like it's a blessing. It's like it's also a miracle.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't just let anybody into your circle. Like you can't. And I've learned that over the years, being too trusting. You know what I mean? Because everybody has their own agenda. And a lot of that time, that agenda is not a good agenda. Like they're only gonna be as loyal, and they're gonna be your friends, as long as you have something they can take from you, or that you're giving them. The moment you stop giving them, pulling the titty out of their mouth,
Yeah.
you're like, they turn into a different person. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Do you
Why?
ever try to vet people like that? Like you help them out and you and then you pull it away just to see how
All
they
the
react?
time. All the time, bro. Everybody that has been out, it's because I cut the titty out.
And they couldn't.
And they turn into a completely different person. So wait a second. So you were playing being a friend for the last 12 years, 10 years, because you had something that was giving you. And when you can't finally, like, you know what, it's time to just, I'm not going to be so giving, and you cut that, and it's like, why? Like, and then they turn on you.
And you know what's funny? Like, it's not even like an issue with them. It's just like you're demonstrating that you have respect for yourself, and you're letting them know that they crossed the line.
Yeah, man, you got to love yourself first. You know what I mean?
Know yourself, love yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It all starts with yourself.
So it's just one of those things. It's like, you know what?
when it's time, it's time. And, you know, it's like, okay, you know, I've helped this person as I did everything I could, and that really is not a two-way street. It's a one-way street, and it's only their way street. And then you try to make it, okay, well, you come this way and I go this way, where it's, you know, it's a giving and kind of taking kind of thing.
Reciprocal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think in life it's a balancing act, you know? And so like with relationships, friendships, you know, like if it starts going like this and it's becoming more and more evident, somebody's going to protest.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's going to have to
Yeah.
fucking say something.
Yeah.
Unless you're like spineless or a shell, then at that point, then yeah, everybody's going to use you as a doormat.
Yeah. And, you know, and a lot of the times you feel like a fucking doormat. Because you're you know, I'm in a position of authority.
Yes.
If that makes any sense to you.
No, absolutely, you are.
You know what I mean? So I'm in a position where everybody, older than me, kids, younger, you know,
Me, you know.
yeah, people at my age, they all come to me for advice. All of them. And you know who taught me this? That at that time I didn't understand what the difference between a black belt and a professor was.
What is?
See, a black belt, your job ends as soon as you end the class. You're done. A professor, it extends also to personal stuff.
You don't just instruct technique, you instruct a way of life.
A way of life with your techniques.
How does martial arts translate to an honorable life, in your opinion?
I mean, I will say it again. You know, we're not perfect. I'm not trying to be. That's too much fucking work. It's too much on your shoulders. Too much weight. You know what I mean? I've always lived my life in an honorable way.
Right.
Have I fucked up? Yeah, many freaking times. But I've never done it a second time. I fucked up once and I learned. So I never make that same mistake again.
Fuck. I just hate this, you know, because like you're telling me the truth and you're telling me great information, you know, but when you say stuff like that, you know, like I fuck up and I don't repeat the fuck up. It's like, duh, right? But me, on the other hand, I fuck up and I'm like, well, let me give it a second chance. Let's see if I get us this result, you know? And I live my life just in this redundancy of fuck ups.
In insanity.
Yeah.
You know what insanity is, right?
Can you give me your...
Yeah, insanity is insanity is someone who does the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah. Then I am a case.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I break this though? Like sometimes I feel like it's like...
But you got to be honest with yourself, bro. Like, I mean, if you fucked up, you feel you're shameful. You feel like, fuck, dude, I fucked up. I mean, what else do you... I mean, that's what I'm living with honor.
I'll give
integrity.
I'll open up to you and show you my skeletons on the bed. My fuck up that's... It's not that it's okay, but it's like... It's not my worst of them all, you know? But like, I get angry and I punch a hole in the wall. You know, and then when I look at the hole in the wall, I'm like, you're a fucking dumbass. Like, how dare you do that? You know, like, how dare you disrespect the property? You know, and it's like, how many holes do I have to punch in the walls to get it through my head? That, you know,
What is it actually doing for you when you punch the wall?
It feels like sweet release, to be honest with you.
Okay.
To be able to let go.
Do you have a punching bag?
No.
Get yourself a punching bag.
Get a punching bag. Okay.
Hang it up.
And just... Bah!
Just get 5 rounds in. It's the same thing.
Except you're not destroying property. You're not possibly harming yourself, breaking your fucking hand.
Yeah.
Put some gloves on. Hit the bag.
Okay, so another thing, talking about, because I talk a lot of shit, but like, you know, I'm trying to be a leader like yourself, you know, like, so when I record a podcast, I post myself as like, I'm teaching you guys about what I think it's wrong and what I think it's right, right?
But you do the opposite.
But not necessarily. But when I talk about the teachings, right, the Stoicism, I'm not necessarily. I say that I advocate for these philosophies. I say that we should follow these philosophies, but I don't say how I don't follow the philosophies, you know. And one of them is one of my coworkers. Like I low-key lost my job because of this, which is this motherfucker was on my ass. Like, he was bugging me. Like, he was on, like, he would get in my bubble, you know what I mean, to bother me. Because, well, when we match colors, we have to dry them with a hair dryer, right?
Okay.
And we have two. And this motherfucker would always go to my spot. And I would turn around, and he's, like, in my way. I'm like, excuse me, bro. Like, fucking move. There's another fucking hair dryer on the other side. So I would go to the other side. Like, literally, mine's behind me. But now I have to go across the room. And I'm like, okay, just flow with it. Go with the flow. Zen. So what I started doing, I started fucking with him. I started disconnecting it. I started moving it around. And, like, literally, it was hilarious. Like, I would see this fucking dumbass just like, huh? What's going on? And then, like, he would be plugging it in. And I'm, like, drinking my coffee like, this motherfucker doesn't give up. So it got to the point where it's like, who was more petty? It got to the point where I was like, well, that's not the right way to do it either. I'm a man. This is a woman's game. So I went up to him. I'm like, you're pissing me off, motherfucker. And I just walked off. It's like, huh? What are you talking about? I'm like, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And she's like, well, what? It's like, well, you're pissing me off, dude, with this shit. Like, just fucking use yours. He's like, yeah, well, get pissed off. Get pissed off. I'm like, yes, dude. I know you want me to get pissed off, but you're not going to be saying that when you're on the fucking floor, like drowning in the puddle of your own blood. And I walked off. And then he mumbled some shit. He fucking mumbled some shit. I'm like, what did you say, bro? And I followed him. I'm like, what did you say? It's like, well, yeah, you're not going to fucking threaten me in front of the boss. I'm like, bad, bro. And I went up to the boss. I'm like, hey, bro, get this guy in check because I'm going to fuck him up. And, yeah. I blew top, you know. My boss said that, okay, we'll talk. We'll go to the back. And so, yeah, he was basically telling me that we need to respect each other and all this shit. And that's when I was like, my ego. I'm not going to respect this fucking piece of shit. And I walked off. So a lot of red flags on my end.
Yeah, man.
A lot of mistakes.
You got to stay cool. See, another thing is that you got to think of like, why am I going to take myself down to that level? I'm doing the same shit he's doing to me. It's pissing me off, but I'm doing it back to him. I'm like, how does that make me any better or any smarter than that? So that goes to tell you again, you got to be in control of your emotions. Control yourself. A lot of people go, "I'll be the no." It's not being the better man. It's just like when you dumb yourself down to that level. I'm like, what do you expect from it?
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's like, don't dumb yourself down to that level. Like, I tell you, you're better than Payless. Say it with me. You better than Payless.
You're better than Payless.
Yes. You know what I mean? And you're like, you're right. You know, I'm right. Like, yeah, I'm better than fucking Payless. Why am I going to, go to that level? Like, I mean, not that I'm better than him, but just I'm better than that for myself. Like, you know what I mean?
Behavior, that
yeah. And, I get it, bro. We all lose our cool, bro, and the ego gets in the way. As you get older, you start realizing different, that you start thinking differently.
Well, I actually thought about this situation in the morning when I woke up. I was curious enough. And what I thought is very, very similar to what you're saying, but it's kind of like, okay, with this guy, me and him, we were bumping heads quite a bit. And every single time it became clear to me, like, I beat him in my mental acuity. Like, he cannot post an argument that I cannot contradict. So, yeah, I beat him there. I beat him in the way we work. I beat him in everything. And I know deep down, because he told me, like, he's like, bro, you could pay me $20, $20 million, and I'll still not box. I'm like, see, because we were arguing about the World Cup and how Dana White was talking shit about soccer, right? And he was upset at Dana. And I'm like, well, you have to understand that Dana's dealing with animals, you know? Animals that will fight in a cage for $0 to no. And so, like, when you see somebody throwing themselves on the ground because they blew on them, you know, like, it's hard to watch, you know?
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, I would never fight, even to pay me $20 million. I'm like, see, that's the difference. I would fight anybody for free, dude, you know? And so I already knew that, like, even in a fight, like, I would mop the floor with him. So it's like, what the fuck am I trying to prove?
Exactly. That's exactly my point. And I guess, you know, I think, you know, if you look at it in another perspective, or another way, it's like you did the right thing.
Okay, can you enlighten me? Because
Yeah, I can yeah, of course. What if you knock him the fuck out and you kill him? What if you knock him the fuck out and he press charges on you? You'll be in jail. So guess what? Look at it the way it's like, you know what? It was just a matter of time for me to just knock him the fuck out. So you know what? Let me walk away.
I'll give you one more just so
Well, can you see what I'm saying though? Like, I mean, in your way, like, yeah, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out, but he can know you know he's gonna press charges.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be able to get out of it because he didn't physically harm you.
And you know what's crazy? Like, in the moment, like, I'm so angry that, like, I know that's the
Yeah.
end result,
And you're
I don't
still winning.
care.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when you regret things, when you're behind the fucking bars and the dude is dead or he's a vegetable. You know how many times I had to pull, like, out of a fight? Not, but like fights at a bar. Or at anywhere I was at. People coming over to me and asking me if I wanted to fight them. And I'm like,
Probably more than you can count, I'm assuming.
yeah.
So I turned down a fight yesterday on the highway, a road rage incident.
Okay,
And
good.
and this guy got pissed off because I cut him off. Apparently, he was speeding like crazy, and I was trying to like pass, and this guy was like, well, you know, like he was hauling ass. So I move over, and he slows down, and he goes over to the way other lane, and he gets on my speed, you know. And I'm literally avoiding him because I felt the vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I see my dad kind of like, oh, whatever, you know. And I turn around, and then he's looking at me, and he's like, telling me to get off the highway. And I'm just like, okay. And I go behind him, and I'm on my way. And my dad's like, no, son, don't do it. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're seriously going to get a fight for whatever the fuck this is? You don't even know if he's angry. You don't even...
What if he has a gun?
Exactly. And so in that moment, I didn't think...
Any fool can carry a gun now.
Fuck, like I'm gonna fuck. I want to fight. I want to fight. You know, because that's what it came down to. I wasn't angry. I was like, I want to fight. And then I was like, no, you're right. And I'll listen to you, Dad. And so I listened to my dad, but immediately I felt regret. I felt anger. I felt shame. I felt like my ego was hurting so bad. Like, what'd I do with that? You know. I feel thankful today, but in the moment, I feel so hurt.
Yeah, but it's because you got to... That's the problem. You got to make the right choices at the right time before it's too late. That's where the discipline comes in. I mean, why the hell am I going to be fighting these fucking dudes for free? Or where I can literally kill them.
Or be killed.
Yeah. And all my life's work down the drain. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta make those. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be in control of your emotions. You gotta be a very, very chill, collective guy. You know what I mean? Always living in the moment. Thinking, okay, you know, if I hurt somebody, I'm going to lose everything I got. Everything. Including my freedom. Or maybe my life. So a lot of those times I had to eat my ego. I had to like just swallow it and just... Knowing that I did the right thing. But still inside I'm like... Oh, I just want to fuck him up. Like, I would have knocked him the fuck out. I already had it all planned out. How it was going to happen, how it was going to go. You know, and going home and staying up all night thinking about it, that I should have
Done something.
done something, but at the same time, and I know in the back of my mind that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's kind
To
of...
walk away. I know.
Like,
I
in
know.
the moment, I'm like...
I still have those. Trust me, bro.
But I'll be honest with you, I don't think that decision would have been made if my father wouldn't have suggested it.
Well, then you got to be a little bit smarter than what you know, you got to think with, you got to have more wisdom.
Yeah, because my daddy's not going to be there next to me all the time.
Exactly. He's not going to be there behind bars with you, too. You're going to have nasty Nate breathing down your neck.
In Tyrone.
Hey, you're going to eat the cornbread. See what I mean?
Yeah, and it's all because of ego.
Yeah,
It's all
and
because of
then
this.
what happens to your daughter? She grows up fatherless.
Yeah,
Now we're just talking about, you know.
yeah, all these women who
Raising.
might as well be.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of things, man. It's a lot of things, you know. I remember being out and about with friends after fights. You know, being at a bar, you know, having a good time with my friends, and
just unwinding now.
yeah, you know, people coming over to me and like literally feeling my body out. Like I'm like, hey, bro, like, you know, I'm just letting you know, I'm straight. Like I like women. That was my first thing. He's like, no, man, I was just, you know, they told me you're a fighter, so I just wanted to check you out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but you don't feel me up.
That's weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
when guys do that.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. It happened to me a lot, you know. And they're like, "Well, look," and they will show me their knuckles, right? Look at my knuckles, bro. And I'm like, "Cool, man, good for you." It's like I've been in so many. I broke this tooth from a fight, and this one here, and that. And they're like, "What? You want to fight like that?" I'm like, I would look at them, and I'm like, "Why? So you don't want to fight?" And I'm like, no, bro. I just made $3,000, $5,000 fighting
A 2-minute
legal. Yeah, a legal fight. And I'm like, you're gonna pay me $5,000 to fight you? Oh, you make money from fighting? And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, you think I don't do it for free? I mean, other than I like it, I didn't say that, but you know what I mean. It was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it for free. But I'll tell you what, I'll buy you a shot. What would you like? You look like a tequila type of person. Or what do you want?
De-escalate the situation.
Ooh, bro, like they became my best friends that night.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro, like, oh bro. Nah, you know what? Yeah, bro, you know, I'll take this, you know. Oh, you're the coolest guy, bro. Oh, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. And, you know.
And bro, I was just trying to test myself. That's it, man.
You know, they didn't. I mean, their vibe, their expressions just completely just changed by saying, "I'll buy you a shot, bro."
But you know what that is, and I know this is what it is. These are men that haven't tested themselves. These are men that they don't know what they're capable of, and they see somebody who's capable. It's like, well, if I could contend against Hugo, then I am capable, right?
Some people, not all, but a lot of people with the biggest egos are the ones that never proven themselves to themselves.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, take that advice for yourself.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that have egos, and they proven themselves.
But that's more like arrogance, right?
I would say a combination of confidence and a little bit of arrogance, you know, strong character,
Right.
you know, and then there's the ones that just are egos, and because it's in our genes as a man to want to prove ourselves to ourselves. It is ingrained in our genes. It's in us. And when a man does not do that, whatever it is, if it's through work, through anything, those are the ones that have the biggest insecurities, the biggest egos.
They're living quiet lives of desperation.
No, just they're not happy with themselves. Because a man who has proven himself to himself is a different man. I'm in the time of my life where I don't need to prove myself to anyone, because I already proved myself to the most important person.
You already looked in the mirror. You already know who you are.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, no, I don't have the need for
So-
any of that.
And so I don't know where this comes from. I think that I've just like grown up in this cutthroat environment, like where everybody's peacocking and putting their chest out and trying to see who's the baddest, like in the room,
Yeah.
and so like I think that like when you thrive in that environment, you just think that that's law everywhere else,
But that's false security.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it is. It's false security.
You feel safe. You feel strong. You feel powerful.
Yeah,
next
but
thing you know,
around a bunch of nobodies.
yeah, a bunch of scumbags.
So it's like, okay, yeah, you're the biggest rooster out of all the fucking non-roosters. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, you know what I mean? Prove yourself to yourself. Prove yourself to your family, your kids. You're the ones that are looking up to you. Those are the ones you got to prove yourself up, up to. Because there's always someone behind you, even if you don't know it or you don't realize it, that's looking up at what you're doing. Whoever it is, it can be son, daughter, a nephew, someone you don't even fucking know.
yeah.
It's crazy.
When you say that, like it's even more sad, because you start looking back at your life and you're like, wow, look at the example I've been putting out. It's shameful.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, Hugo, like, this conversation is really gonna change my life.
I hope so.
Believe me.
I hope so, for the good, though, for the better.
No, for sure.
You know what I
like,
mean? So
this conversation, it's a long time coming. Because you address the masses, you address the class.
Yeah.
We've never had a one-to-one where I'm able to be one of those guys where I'm like, hey, let me unload my truckload of shit on Hugo's desk, and see what he could figure out.
yeah.
And so we all appreciate you for dealing with our shit,
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You don't hear that. You don't hear that. You don't hear a lot in my kind of where I'm at.
Well, I think people think that like it's a given, They see this wise man. He is not a black belt. He's a professor, and you don't say, hey man, my time is money. Your door's always open for everyone,
Pretty much.
So yeah, I mean,
Pretty much, and it's free. It's not what I'm teaching you on the mat. It's the other time where it's like, it's such a selfless life. You know what I mean? Where it's a lot of your time is for other people.
Yeah,
I was not like this when I was your age.
You were a little bit more.
I was more reserved, and I was more about me.
When did the turnaround happen? Where you started to realize that there was merit in being of the people?
Well, I believe that we live lives in stages, like chapters. Every 10 years is a different chapter of your life.
Kind of like the caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly kind of thing, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're in your 20s, you're one person. You think certain way. When you hit your 30 to 40, you start changing the way you think. You know what I mean? And then you hit 40 to 50. It's another chapter. Because if you're still thinking at 40 the same way you thought when you were 20, then you just wasted 20 years out of your fucking life. You're a fucking idiot.
I remember you said it like this though. You would say, if you're still throwing your jab and cross the same way you did when you came into my class, 1 year, 2 years, a month, then you just wasted your fucking goddamn year. You know?
Yeah. It's the same. Yeah. Yeah. And I keep telling people, I'm like, only stupid people don't learn. And I'm like, I can teach a fucking monkey. I tell you guys, I can teach a fucking monkey if I get it to pay attention. So all I'm saying is that if you fucking pay attention, you'll learn this. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I use that expression a lot. You know what I mean? Not to make you feel stupid, but to snap you out of it. Like, oh fuck, am I really that stupid? Look in the mirror, like you said. Look at yourself in the mirror. I was like, ay, güey, estoy pendejo, no mames. You know what I mean? It's a rude awakening, and but it makes you realize, or it makes you like, it just lets you know that you are fucking stupid.
I'll be the one to tell you, like, thank you for doing that, right? Like, listening to our bullshit. But thank you for being an asshole, air quotes for the people listening to this. Because, let me tell you this. Not one person that I have ever crossed paths with, at least not in the recent life that I've lived in, not one person has ever looked at me and say, you're full of shit. Everybody's like, yeah, go ahead, man. Keep blowing smoke out of your ass, you know? And you start believing your own fucking Kool-Aid, you know? And then you go to Hugo's class and he's like, bro, you better leave that shit out of here or I'm going to slap it out of you. It has made me grow in a way that you cannot comprehend. You just can't, you know? But
good.
But it's like, it doesn't stop either, you know? Like, the more I spend time at Bushido, the more I train, the more I realize that, like, I am not special. I am not grandiose, you know?
No one is.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, if you think you're a great fighter, go to one of your classes. And, yeah, maybe you won't be a great fighter after that, you know?
Well, you're going to realize a lot of things. That's for sure. It's gonna be one of those, like I said, it's a rude awakening.
Well, it's like I want you to also talk about like what Roman said about the whole situation, you know, because he's a great boxer. Yeah. He really is a great boxer.
No, yeah, he is. He's got great hands.
Amazing hands.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, he understood how vulnerable he is.
He was.
He's in danger.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, I didn't realize how much I was missing from my game. Like, I thought hands were like everything. And then I started seeing kicks, knees and elbows, and then takedowns, and you're like, holy shit. Before you know, I'm on the ground on my back, and I feel like I'm drowning. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
That is exactly how it feels.
He was like, no, I got it. I want to learn this. And you know, that kid has a great attitude, bro.
He brings a lot of great spirits.
He got a great attitude, bro. You know, he's a busy guy. He's young. He's like 23. He already has 2 kids.
2 kids?
So he's a responsible kid, bro. He's a responsible, I wouldn't say kid.
He's a man. He's a young man.
He's a fucking man, of course. You know what I mean? Takes full responsibility for his kids, you know, takes care of the kids, his wife, and still finds time to come in to train. At least 3 to 5 times a week.
Oh, shit.
And whether he's tired or not, he's there with a great attitude. That was me.
That's beautiful.
I never had a shitty attitude towards
training. Or life,
none
or
of
responsibilities.
It. None of it. I welcome them all. I still do. You know what I mean? Because I live a life of gratitude, bro. Whatever is thrown at me, I'm going to figure it out. No matter what it is. Yeah, it might take me a couple days, couple weeks, month, whatever.
You're not going to stop.
No. Because it's hard. Because it's hard. It's difficult. I want to overcome it. I want to face it even more. I'm not going to see, no, I'm going to go.
Shortcut.
Fuck no. There's no shortcuts.
Shortcuts is the long way, actually.
You know, just like they tell, there's no elevator to success. You got to take the stairs.
I don't know if it's a philosophical thing, but every time I'm get stuck in traffic, I try to find a way to like maneuver. Like I go on the Google Maps, I could take this back roads, and I end up taking like an hour or two more than if I would have just stayed 20 miles an hour.
Just chill.
Consistent on the road, on the path.
Just chill, look and see where your openings are, and you take those openings. But don't stray from your path. Like, just keep, you know, we're such in a hurry to get, and then you end up getting there 2 hours later because you wanted to go over this shortcut and over this bumps over here or whatever. And then sometimes you might even get stuck.
Yeah.
So you lose the whole day.
Just because you wanted to go a little bit
Yeah,
faster,
bro. You just, you know, you gotta let it come to you, man. And it's hard because when, you know, when you're young, you just want to do everything like, no. When you get to my age, you learn patience. I tell you, patience is a virtue.
Yes.
It's true.
It's a virtue I don't have, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And well, think about it like this too,
Life
right?
teaches you, though. Life is gonna teach you. Not right now.
But it's sooner than later.
You come to yeah. Okay, if you're not stupid, yeah. That, you know,
Yes.
stupid people don't learn.
I'm learning.
Okay.
So at the very least, I'm not stupid.
Exactly.
I just do stupid shit.
And that's what I'm saying, you know. That's what I'm saying. So,
Man, I didn't know you went through such a hardships. You know, the hunger, the sleepless nights.
oh, I still do till this days. The sleepless nights. I mean,
You still carry some demons with you, huh?
we always do, but they're not. My demons are in a nice padded cage.
Okay, they're tamed.
They're under control.
You'll let them loose if necessary.
Yeah. I mean, you never forget violence.
You don't get domesticated, is what you're saying.
You learn how to control those demons, those you know, those you know, you learn to control them. You don't let them control you anymore. It's a difference. So yeah, I'm a lot more peaceful, but I have not forgotten violence. It's in me.
Since we're quoting amazing fighters, Bruce Lee said, "I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war." So right now you're basking in your garden.
Was that Bruce Lee?
It was Bruce Lee.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, one thing about Bruce Lee that I can tell you, that he was way ahead of his times as far as his philosophy.
Yeah. Well, he actually, I think you can resonate with, you and your brother can resonate a lot with him. Like, just the simple fact that it's like, why are we married to just this one traditional discipline?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why just ninjutsu? Why not jujitsu? Why not wrestling? Why not boxing?
A mixture.
Yeah. It's crazy that you guys figured that out, like, basically the same way he did. Just, like, this is unacceptable. Like, there's deficiencies here, you know? Same as Roman, too.
Mm-hmm.
He saw, fuck, if I get taken down, I'm going to get choked out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that I'm Golden Gloves champion.
And he had the hardest time, he still does, dealing with kicks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, taking the kick or throwing
Just
the kick?
both. Dealing with them.
Kickboxing.
Yeah.
It's just
You
such
know?
a foreign thing, you know?
Yeah, his legs were so fragile.
You needed to build them up. You needed to work those muscles.
Yeah, bro. It's callous. It's what it is.
Look at Oscar de la Hoya's legs. They're just like twigs, you know? They're little...
Well, he's a little guy, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he never worked out his legs. He never threw a kick, you know? So it's like a boxer's physique is very different to an MMA
Oh yeah,
guy's physique, you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, boxers, what they do a lot of running.
A lot of cardio.
Yeah, a lot of running, a lot of jump roping. You know, they're not fucking squatting. At least not most of them. You know what I mean? Because they believe that weights make you slow.
Stay light on the feet is what they want.
I mean, what did Muhammad Ali said? Sting like something like a something butterfly, sting like a bee, some shit like that. So
yeah.
So yeah, you know, and you know, and who knows? You know, I mean, boxing was I loved you know, nowadays boxing is different, but back then I loved boxing. You know, I got to see the real fucking boxing. So,
Well, I mean, look at Duran and Sugar Ray, the first fight. Fuck. Those were gladiators.
Yeah,
Those were warriors.
of course.
You know?
I mean, even all the way up to 90s too. The 90s were fucking
Roy
bad.
Jones Jr. and
You had
Tyson.
Barrera, you had Morales, you had Pacquiao. You know, De La Hoya. You had fucking, you know, all those fucking guys that came to fight.
What are your thoughts on boxing nowadays?
It sucks.
Boring.
Yeah, bro. It's just so limited to me now. You know what I mean?
You cannot compare.
It's a beautiful science, you know. That just if you just wear it about your hands, but there's like, man, you know, you're like doing this shoulder roll shit. I would kick over that shoulder and knock you the fuck out. I would kick those skinny legs and
sweep you off.
yeah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's just so many deficiencies. But I mean, if you just doing boxing, it's a beautiful art, beautiful science, you know.
It's a great sport and it's a great business.
Yeah,
it's good business.
Definitely, it's the best business in the world.
Yeah.
When it comes down to combat sports, dude, the UFC they're making a fucking chump. I mean, they're making just nothing
compared to boxing.
Change, yeah, they're making change, like fucking coins, bro. You know what I mean? You know, I've never said this publicly, but I got offered the contract to the UFC twice.
Really?
Yeah. Once in 2007 and then 2008.
And what happened?
I didn't fucking take it.
You just didn't see any merit with it? Or
I didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me, you know? I mean, I got my friend from San Diego, Eric Del Fierro. Eric Del Fierro is he's a fucking one of the best coaches in MMA. I know you've heard of Dominic Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
That's his coach.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Phil Davis.
Holy shit.
Michael Chandler was with him for a long time too. Who else? There's a lot of world champions that he's coached.
Elites.
Yeah, elites. Yeah, of course. You know, they made me an offer, and I said, "What's the offer?" And then he said, "Well, this is how much. It's a year contract, and you got 3 fights." Okay. He's like, "So this is for the first fight. You make, so they give you a certain amount of money to show up, and then if you win the fight, they give you another portion.
Yeah.
If you lose,
you get nothing.
You just get the show up fight. So they call the show fight and the win fight.
Oh.
So there's 2 purses.
Oh, I
so
see.
you show up. Let's say, an example. If by showing up, they'll give you $1,000. If you beat the guy, you get another $1,000. So you get $2,000 if you win. If you lose, you only get $1,000.
Right.
The second fight, they'll pay you 2 and 2, which means 2
to
show and 2 if you win. 2 more if you win.
Right.
The third one will be 3 and 3.
Okay.
So he's like, okay. So I was like, all right. So it's this and that. So what I need to do? Well, you gotta move to San Diego again. And I'm like, for how long? He's like, for at least 6 months. And I'm like, what happens to what I built here?
Yeah.
So now you're looking at a way. It's like, okay, the UFC doesn't have insurance for fighters, right?
Right.
Or at least at the time they didn't.
They still don't.
They paid you shitty money.
They
Okay?
still do. I
So,
think.
yeah, but back then was even worse.
Yeah, I
okay,
would
so my first fight, if I would have won, I would have probably taken home maybe like $1,000 home. And I had to be gone for 6 months.
What the fuck?
Okay?
Yeah.
Because I had to pay manager fees, gym fees, coaches fees. And you're going to need a place.
To live and eat.
And yeah. Who's going to pay for that? It's not the fucking UFC. It's not your coach. Anything your coach gives you or he's gonna
Yeah, he's gonna get it back.
he's
at
like,
some
hey,
point.
where's he's gonna be like, Debo, where's my chain? Where's my money at? Right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so I go in there. Let's say I get an injury that, let's say for an example, an ACL tear. They have no insurance. I got no fucking insurance.
No money.
No money. Just to say that I fought in the UFC. And then I come home. I have nothing that I left. Nothing's on. I got one leg,
It didn't make sense.
but I got $1,000.
Didn't make sense.
And the same thing, they offered it back to me in 2008. And it was the same thing. And I'm like, I make more money fighting on my own than
Then with the organization.
leaving everything I've built for the last whatever years. I make more out of me having my business teaching a month, in 1 month, that I made if I were to take a fight with
and
the
do a
UFC.
6-month camp and all that
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly. So why would I just to say, I'm like, oh yeah, well you fight in the UFC? Yeah, but you're fucking broke. I have my friends that fought in the UFC. They fucking live in coaches and couches at somebody's house. But you fought in the UFC. Yeah, but I'm broke. I have nothing to show for. Other than to say that I fought in the UFC. Oh, good job. You fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
Good job. But you're broke. You know what I mean? It's sad, bro. It's sad.
It's horrible because like this is like who we are as people. Like we like to fight, but the life of a fighter is hard.
It's
and,
a very short window too.
Yeah, and you took your window. You don't get me wrong, man. Like whatever the fuck you did, you tore up some. You really did. But the thing is that you understood that like at the time, you're not Mr. Know-It-All, like you said. You don't see things into the future, so you didn't know that this was gonna be the end all be all for combat sport. But you fucking still capitalized. You look at your thriving business now.
Yeah.
You're definitely a success. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, but I mean, you know, and I have people asking me. Some the people that I don't tell many people. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the people that I've told is, well, do you have any regrets? And I'm like, not even a letter, bro. So I'm like,
You're 100% okay with every single decision you've made up until this point.
mm-hmm.
Then yeah, you definitely have lived
Yeah.
an honorable life. You know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and I have a friend that told me. It was a beautiful way of putting it. What good is it to gain the world when you lose your soul?
Yeah.
So it's like when you know, I mean, you see it now from fighters, you know. I mean, look at Francis Ngannou.
What's the deal with him?
He said, "Fuck you, Dana. I'm out.
he
You're
just-
you know, paying me now. You want to pay me good money, but I still can't wear my own sponsors. The sponsor, the sponsors, that thing with when he came with the UFC started
the Reebok bullshit.
all of that stuff. You know who the people that benefit from that
Dana.
is, right? Exactly. You know how much I don't know how much, but imagine how much money he's making from the sponsorship. And the fighters get $1,000, bro.
Even with the new Venom
You
deal,
know?
they're still not making a lot.
No, they're not making shit. Anderson Silva lost a Nike sponsor because the UFC came in with their fucking Reebok. He probably made at the most from the sponsorship like 30,000. You know how much Nike was paying him? Millions, bro. John Jones lost millions because he also had Nike.
GSP had Under Armour.
Exactly. And all those guys, I mean, even though they made a lot of money, they got fucked.
I have to ask you, do you agree with Dana's way of doing things? Because it's more or less a dictatorship, right?
It's a good plantation. That's what it is.
Can you elaborate?
Well, see, the thing about when you sign a contract with the UFC, even when you contract, when you, even if you retired during the contract, the UFC still owns the rights to you for about 10 years. You're signing that contract. So GSP, if he wants to fight,
He's still under contract.
he's still under contract. So he has to consult with Dana or Dana White in the UFC first. He was supposed to fight De La Hoya,
That didn't let him.
but Dana didn't let him because he's fighting with. You know how much money.
So
he
even
would've-
after the fact that you say, okay, I'm gonna hang up my gloves, I'm done.
And if you're still under contract with the UFC, they own your rights for 10 years after that.
And that's so smart too, because you think, oh, 10 years, that's fine. That's not forever. But it's like after the 10 years, you're not gonna be fighting, dumbass.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, you retired at 36. By the time you 10 years, you're 46, bro. Like, you don't want to be fighting at 46. That's what I mean. My fucking plantation.
It's very much like the music industry, kind of, right?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with.
Well, I
music
mean,
industry.
you just see like these motherfuckers, like the record labels, like owning basically every single kind of like creative, like legal thing for the album, the songwriting, etc.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, how many cents does the actual singer or the one that wrote everything gets per
Yeah.
whatever? You know what I mean? They get like 7 cents.
Like Michael Jackson, like he made millions, but he made billions for these motherfuckers, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking business. It's crazy. It's cutthroat when you think about it, you know?
Yeah.
Do you contend with the businessmen often, or you're kind of like just in your own echo chamber, you know? Or do you have to like go out of your way sometimes to talk to a banker or a real estate agent kind of shit, you know?
Nah, no, depending on what you're doing. I stay, within my realm of stuff.
Yeah.
If I create like a demand for stuff like within my business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Boxing gloves.
so the best thing about business is to mind your own fucking business.
Y'all heard it first here on the Warrior Poet Show.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, everything is within your business. You want to, make more money, if you want to, all of that.
Yeah. Keep it symbiotic.
Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things, like, yeah. I could give two shits what anybody else is doing as far as business. I don't care. It's none of my fucking business. I just said it. So I mind my fucking business. All that I care is, I told you guys are my business. I care that you guys are getting the best fucking training that I can possibly give you. Don't I tell you that?
Yes, sir.
All the fucking time. And here I am, you hear all freaking day, I'm researching, I'm doing things, and I'm looking at my students and seeing what they need to work on, what we're good at, what we suck at, and I improve on the things that, on the weaknesses. And I tell people, and I'm like, if you've been here for a year and you still can't throw a job, or you can't move your head and know your fundamentals, you're a fucking fool. I'm sure you've heard me say that a lot.
Do you find it to be disrespectful on some level too? Like, I'm coming here, wasting your time, making you think that I'm paying your attention.
That's why I'm
that's what frustrates
in
you.
your face type of guy. He's a motherfucker. You're coming here to lose weight when we have a fit camp class. Why don't you just go to the fit camp class? Go lose weight over there with the people that are actually trying to lose weight. They're here to lose weight. You are here to learn how to fight. I'm not a fit camp class.
Why do people get confused with this?
They don't get confused, bro. It's what happens at every fucking gym nowadays. Every MMA gym is a watered down MMA fucking gym. We'll give you an MMA workout.
1, 2, 1,
so you
2.
can look.
Do you feel the burn?
So you can look like a fighter. And I'm a motherfucker. You're over there working now so you can look like a fighter. I'm over here breeding fighters. There's a difference. These motherfuckers don't care how they look. They only care about kicking your ass. It's a difference.
Yeah. Our priorities are very, very different.
And it's the industry that's what we have here. It's watered down fucking MMA.
I see that a lot. And but why the fuck are the UFC gyms the pioneers of this culture though?
They're not pioneers.
Of the watered down bullshit?
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
for sure, They
just have you hitting the back like boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, making yourself feel like powerful, you know, like engaged.
It's false credibility. And then they get a motherfucker that punches them in the face, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Or they punch that guy in the face, and the guy looks at them and smiles. He's like, "All right, cool, let's fight."
Yeah.
And that's when the shit hits the fan. You're like, "Oh fuck." So a lot of the issues that I have nowadays is that, you know, this all these kids come in to Bushido, right? And I have to be honest with them from the get-go. No, you know, it's because I'm really trying to lose weight, you know, like, you know, I want to feel better about myself, and I get it, you know what I mean? So, I'm here because I want to lose weight. And I'm like, but you're going into a fighting class. No, let me just be the bearer. Bad news, right? And I said, you're gonna get punched in the face, and you're gonna get kicked, and all of this other stuff. And they look at me like, because you're coming in here with the wrong mentality, first of all. And it would be kind of wrong of me to say, okay, yeah, you're here to lose weight, and then I put you in a dog pound. You've been in dog pound. You know what that's like, right?
It sucks.
Exactly.
And it's more nerve-wracking because everyone's looking.
Exactly. So then I put them in the middle of the circle, and then they get a fresh guy every fucking round. And they get the shit beat out of them. And they're looking at me with this puppy eyes. But I don't get it. I didn't know I was gonna get.
I'm gonna throw up.
I bring the bucket out, put it right there on the mat. If you need to throw up, you're gonna throw up on that fucking thing, on that in that trash can, and you're gonna come back and finish your rounds. That's me. You know that. How many people have already done it too?
Everyone.
Exactly.
Everyone. No. Oh.
And you know why I don't let them go to the restroom?
Why?
Because they hide in the restroom.
They just stay there.
Yeah. They're not even throwing up. They're just in the restroom feeling sorry for themselves and afraid and all this other shit. That's why I bring out the trash can. I put it in the middle. If you need to throw up, you throw up right there. And then get your ass back and finish your rounds.
You have it all figured out.
Exactly. Because that's exactly what they do. So now they're looking at me and saying, well, I didn't know you were going to. I'm like, I told you it was a fight class. We do have a cardio kickboxing class. It's a fit camp. It says fit camp class.
And you're welcome to join.
And you're welcome to join. But no, you wanted to come over here and waste my time. I'm not a fucking cardio kickboxer instructor, bro. I'm not. I have so much knowledge. I've have so many fights and been in so many fights.
To be wasting
wasting my fucking time on building new abs.
Hey, but you know what's crazy? Even just the initial workout, because we do workouts.
Yeah.
We train. And that's why I say, I'm not going to go practice. I'm not going to go work out. I'm going to go train. And when we train, we fucking go to war.
Yeah.
And like literally like just doing the
Japanese rope drills.
I see my peers.
Man makers, bro.
Yes, I see my peers feeling the same way I do. Like wanting to give the fuck up. But it's like, okay, if you
that's just the beginning.
Yeah,
of it.
if you want to give up right then and there, then fucking.
You still got to do your fucking 60 pull-ups
and your fucking 50 push-ups. That's one set, right?
Yeah.
How many sets of 50? We do like 3.
I don't know.
150 push-ups a class. Sometimes. It depends.
Depends on what type of mood I'm in. You know.
Yeah, but when you're not in a good mood, best believe we feel it. You know.
And it's not that I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just setting.
The tone.
I've always said that you set the vibe for your tribe.
Yes.
I want people to understand that, when shit hits the fan, it's going to be tense. But if you've never been in a situation or in a scenario like that, then how the hell are you going to handle it when it happens? And I let everybody know, the problem with you guys is you're coming here thinking that you're never going to be in a fight. Wrong way. Wrong mindset. If you are a man, you will be in a fight at least once in your life. Women can get away with not fighting because girls are, hey, you fucking bitch, hey, you fucking, and that's it. But it never gets physical.
With us, there's always that looming danger.
With us, it's gonna happen.
You're gonna rub somebody the wrong way.
It's gonna happen, and it's because they don't like you because you're pretty. They don't like you because you're this, or they don't like you for whatever the fucking reason.
Coach, let me tell you, I had this one incident. This one dude. He was just straight out of the pen, fresh out of the pen, rather. And we were hanging out. I was like cutting some wood. He had respect for me. Like he's like, oh, Mr. Lumberjack, and we hit it off. I had some drinks on me. We had the fucking bonfire, the s'mores. It was perfect. And I was like, I called him Way. I'm like, oh, tú qué, güey? And he's like, ooh.
We coming, please. The warrior, going, shout.
Here with the warrior poet, spitting out the facts, artillery loaded, perfecting our craft, yeah you know we devoted. I know what I want, so I'm staying focused. You hitting up my line, it's on do not disturb. Don't need a fool who can't even back up his words. Had to burn bridges and take different roads. You might think I'm toxic, but homie, I got goals.